Okay, everybody, let's spend some time on the Virginia Association of Realtors page. Jennifer is sharing her screen with us, and you'll see the rolling banner going across for what Virginia Association of Realtors is trying to market to us right now. It is their 100th year, so they've had a lot of celebrations going on. They also have had a very robust coronavirus page where they have been making updates very, very often. So what I'd like to touch on for Virginia Realtors resources is, as a member of the Virginia Association of Realtors, you actually are going to get a free subscription to Inman. So Jennifer, would you mind looking up Inman for me? Yeah, go ahead and log in. Again, you're going to log in with your NRDS number and probably your email address that RVAR has on file. So in this case, it's NRDS number and last name, if Jennifer remembers.
I guess I'll show you how to look up your NRDS number.
Okay.
Look, I wasn't prepared for this one.
That's okay. So she's going to enter her last name and her email that RVAR has registered for her. Okay, there's her NRDS number. So she can copy and paste that now and go log into the Virginia Association of Realtors. There you go.
All right, my password is my last name.
And it looks like it's capitalized. Or Wilcox would be capitalized.
Oh, where am I?
That does not look right.
Let's go back. We want to log in. Oh, what am I doing wrong? I didn't go down far enough.
I think that's your NRDS number.
Yes, I know.
Sorry.
I'm not a very good driver.
You're great.
Ah!
Maybe there's a space before the 8.
Let's see.
Okay, we're in. You can save that if you want to, Jennifer. So if you'll just go over there to the search bar and type in Inman. So Inman is an online magazine. So Inman Select, if you click that. So you get a free membership through the Virginia Association of Realtors. They're going to have, it's basically an online magazine, and they are touted as being the leading real estate magazine on the market. So when you go here, there's going to be tons and tons of articles. There are going to be videos. There are going to be tutorials. And it's going to cover everything real estate related. They're going to have in the trending section a lot of really current articles about things that are going on, coronavirus. They've got a lot of staff writers who have ongoing monthly articles that they contribute. And it's just, again, going to be a great resource for going in and finding out maybe some content for your Facebook business page or Instagram page. Just read up on our industry. This is how realtors who have been in the business for a long time sort of have that gut feel about the market. They don't just know, they just are well read. They read a lot of articles, they keep track of what the market's doing, and then they're able to interpret that and digest it and turn it into sort of a gut feel about what the market is doing. So that's just a sampling of what they have available. Yeah, I have been reading more and more articles about how really nice houses in more rural environments are starting to really see a lot of showings. Apparently people have decided they like this whole homestead and staying at home thing. A lot of us have decided we do not enjoy that, but apparently many, many people have decided they love it. And so apparently these more rural areas are seeing an uptick in buyers coming to tour the properties. In fact, one of our agents specializes in farms, and he has been absolutely covered up with people wanting to go look at farms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's Inman. Please make sure you go on and subscribe for your free account. You're going to do that through the Virginia Association of Realtors page. It really is worth it. First off, it's free, and it's just very, very informative. So the next one would be the Graduate Realtor Institute. So if you ever decided you want to enhance your real estate license that you already have, I would say the most popular designation would be the GRI. So whereas the ABR is the accredited buyer representative designation, that's going to be focused on buyers. You've also got one for sellers, relocation companies. GRI is sort of the, well, it's like the graduate degree of being a real estate agent. So it's going to be much more comprehensive and cover all of the real estate industry, not specialize in one area. So once you have completed this course, and I'll tell you, you have to complete it in a certain, is it 2 years or something? Is it 2 years you have to complete it? Because I started it at the very beginning of my career, and then I got way too covered up running the firm, and I had to retake some of the earliest courses that I had taken. So I know there is a time limit. It may be 2 years. I cannot remember now. These typically are held in person. Some are online, a lot of them are in person. And it may require a little bit of travel to neighboring associations in order to fit them all in. But the nice thing is Lynchburg and New River Valley both also offer GRI classes throughout the year. And so they cooperate and let you come over and sit in a class there. So it's not too far to travel. So lots and lots of agents in the Valley have the GRI designation. And I highly recommend it. We've had 2 finish it recently. So Sheila States and Deepak Sansoa have both completed it recently and enjoyed it very much. Mm-hmm. So after GRI, anybody have any questions about that? Anybody? Okay.
And you can find that at the NAR site. Information about the GRI.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, and this is on the Virginia Realtor site, so you can go there and look into it too. Sure. Sure.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, this is
back to NAR.
Oh, did you go back to NAR? Mm-hmm. Oh, does it link back to NAR?
I'm still on Inman. I wasn't on the Virginia site anymore.
I see.
Okay.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about, let's go, Jennifer, to 4 members. And then drop down that menu on the left. The first one on the left.
I'm moving you out of my way again.
Oh, sorry. Go down to benefits and resources, please. So there's the GRI under education. If you go back up to education, you'll see GRI.
I saw it. Yes.
There it is. There's also PM certified. That's property management certified. If that's something you've ever had an interest in, I'm happy to chat with you about it. There's also the Virginia Leadership Academy. That is specifically for agents who want to step up into leadership roles in their local associations or even up at the NAR level. So if you've ever thought about being on a board of directors of the Virginia Association of Realtors or stepping up into vice president or president of the Virginia Association of Realtors or the National Association of Realtors, that is the Virginia Leadership Academy is where you would want to go first. First, you'd want to serve at your local level, so getting on a committee at RVAR. But if we go to benefits and resources under members, then Inman Select is there. Mm-hmm. So is the tech helpline. So the tech helpline, if you'll click on that if you don't mind, is a free resource that's given to you as a member benefit for being a member of the Virginia Association of Realtors. You can call this tech helpline, and they have people manning that phone who are going to help you with your windows, with your email. They also have online chat in case you just have a quick question. They'll even help you with hardware. You can call them and say, hey, listen, I don't know what router to buy. and they're going to help you through that. So this is probably one of the best member resources we've gotten in recent years. When I first came to work in real estate, the Roanoke Valley Association of Realtors actually had an IT person on staff, and that was great to have. They have not had that for many, many years. And so when this tech helpline was added at the Virginia Association of Realtors level, it really did sort of fill in that gap that was missing. So you can call with anything about how to do something online. They can give you recommendations for what type of computer you should invest in, what type of laptop you should buy. All right, moving on to back to that list for members, if you don't mind, Jennifer, and benefits and resources. Again, the top one is buyer and seller handouts. These are great if you just want to have an excuse to have a reason to email your clients. So there are all sorts of online, here's tax benefits of owning. What better time than right now to send this tax benefits of owning to all of your sellers who already own a house, who bought a house with you, or any buyer who may be interested in looking at a property. So these are
It's a Word document.
They're going to open up as a Word document, but that's so that you can then alter it. You can add your branding to it. You can change anything that you don't feel like is suitable for your particular buyer or seller. You can put a signature on it. You can repackage it into a one-page letter if you'd prefer. And then you can, does everyone on here know how to do print to PDF? Jennifer, could you just show that little tip back in that Word document?
Oh, let me find that Word document.
I use print to PDF more than any other handy computer trick in the world. So you pull up any document anywhere and you go to the print option and you change your printer to be Microsoft Print to PDF. So she's going to change this down to Microsoft Print to PDF. And what it's going to do is instead of printing it to a printer, it's going to turn it into a PDF that you save to your computer. And then you can email that anywhere you want to email it. You can post it on Facebook. You can email it to clients. And then you just have it as a PDF. It's been converted at that point. I use that all the time. Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
So these are fantastic buyer and seller handouts. And if you feel the need, you can print them out in color and hand deliver them. If you want to have an excuse to just drop a little present by your client's home. Also, you can use these to hand out as gifts to for sale by owner folks. If you know somebody who's selling their house for sale by owner, how to add curb appeal would be a great one to give to them, or improve the odds of an offer. You know, print those out in full color, make sure your branding is on it, and just say, hey, I know, you know, I, as well as anybody know, it's hard to sell a house right now. I just thought I'd drop off some resources for you. No obligation, just want to see you be successful. And if it's got your branding on it, you know they're going to call you when they realize that they probably want to get it on the MLS or list it with a realtor. Cool stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Moving on back to for members. I'd like to just take a quick look at the market reports and market breakdown videos. Don't click on these, Jennifer, because they'll download immediately to your computer. But these are very interesting. This is not beginner stuff, okay? But if you want to start thinking like a broker and you want to start thinking about like an agent who really understands the market, these are the reports you want to download and you want to look over, okay? They're going to be very, very involved. They're going to go through median home sales prices to average home sale prices to days on market. It's going to break it down map style and show you what's been going on across Virginia. We are very, very fortunate to have this resource. If we were real estate salespeople, there would not be someone packaging this for us and making this available every month on the month. So I am very thankful to have this. And it's what allows me to have a better idea of what our market is doing. So the breakdown videos are a more palatable version of that, where they talk to you and they explain it to you. And this is Lisa Sturdivant on the left. She's amazing. She is our economic advisor or our economic analyst for the Virginia Association of Realtors. Give a little shout out to a lady scientist working that job for us. So she's wonderful. I've seen her speak in person. She's funny. She's incredibly knowledgeable about the topics that she speaks on. Very warm, great lady. So if you are a member of our private Facebook group for Wainwright, which I encourage you to join that group if you have not, and any email you've gotten from me that has a Facebook button on it, you click that button and it'll take you to our Facebook group. I share Lisa's videos on our Facebook group so that you can watch them there too. They're not these videos. They're when she goes live at the Virginia Association of Realtors Facebook page. And Amanda, yeah, you have a question, please. Don't forget to unmute. There you go.
So, and forgive me if this has been mentioned or shown somewhere previously, but is there maybe in those benefits or whatever resources, is there some like list that shows for us newbies from start to finish a list of all forms when we're required in order when working with a buyer or seller?
No, and I'll tell you why. All across the state of Virginia, every association uses different forms. So the forms we use are specific to the Roanoke Valley Association of Realtors. Lynchburg has their own set of forms that they've drawn up. Many associations across the state use the Virginia Association of Realtors forms. So because of that, there would not be a list. Now, what I will tell you is I can show you right now how I have already preloaded all the forms I think you may need when working with a buyer or a seller into a template for you. So that when you go into Zip Forms and you hit the correct template that you want to use, it's going to preload all the forms you may or may not need. Now, obviously, it's going to have some forms you don't need. So if the house is on public sewer and public water, I will have included a residential septic system disclosure in the template of forms, and you'll just need to delete that one form. But I come from a philosophical point that I'd rather include everything you may need rather than forget something. So at the end of this session, if you'd like, I'll show you how to log in and do that.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Happy to. That was a great question. You know, back in the day, I'll give you a back in the day story. Back in the day, we used to make seller packets and buyer packets, but that was before Zip Forms. So everything was just blank forms that we would have to fill out fully. So we would have these big envelopes. Jennifer, was that before you or were you?
No, I was there. Those carbon copy forms.
Oh my Lordy. Well, they were one step above carbon. They were carbonless, which meant they were they were still 3 pages. There was a yellow one, a pink one, and a white one. And everybody fought over who got the white one. And whoever got that poor pink one on the back could hardly read what was on the form. And that's how we had to fill out everything. And so we would make up these giant envelopes and we would have all the forms you needed in it. And we'd stock them in the filing cabinet in the agent office. And you'd just grab up, 3 buyer envelopes for the weekend and hope you wrote 3 contracts. It was just, that is in my lifetime.
Anastasia says, we used to say 3 copies, press hard.
Press hard, exactly. And you had to. That pink copy had nothing on it if you didn't.
It was really hard to read.
And heaven forbid if you had a felt tip pen, you had to have one of those old school ballpoint pens and just bear down. Okay, so let's just finish up here on the Virginia Association of Realtors page. And the legal tab has a ton of stuff. The legal podcasts are awesome. I'm telling you, we have great staff at the Virginia Association of Realtors, and they do make interesting podcasts. Maybe that's just nerdy me who loves me some real estate industry talk, but I have thoroughly enjoyed them. And you know what? I'm in the car a lot, so it's very easy to listen to these in the car. So if we go back up to 4 members, I just want to touch on a couple Benefits and resources, please. Perfect. So if you are interested in the healthcare, there is the Virginia Realtors Healthcare tab, and you can go check there and see about applying to be provided healthcare through the Virginia Association of Realtors and buying your insurance through there. Okay. Now, let's talk about, so we only got about 12 minutes left. Let's talk about the Roanoke Valley Association of Realtors. And Jennifer will pop over there. This is RVAR's site. You'll see there's a lot of canceled on there. You know, that's coronavirus right now. Normally though, RVAR has multiple meetings every month, and they are awesome. So you can see that some of the ones they've canceled are Mortgage Madness, and they had a lender panel. They had 3 or 4 lenders who were going to sit on that panel and talk about lending topics. They had a fair housing class. They had tech committee lunch and learn. The lunch and learns are awesome. You bring your own entree, like a sandwich. They provide you chips, drink, and a dessert. And they're going to have some sort of tech class that you can sit in on during lunchtime. It's about an hour, hour and a half in the middle of the day. They have business planning, sales contracts, code of ethics training, radon in Virginia real estate, where you're going to have a radon inspector there who's going to talk about what radon is, what level is EPA, is the EPA recommended level, what happens if you have high radon, how do you write that into a contract. So this is awesome, awesome stuff. So when RVAR gets back to having meetings, I do encourage you to go. Almost all of them are free. Occasionally there's a $10 charge, like the lunch and learns are free. A lot of times, if it's going to satisfy some continued education in addition to being a class they're offering, then there will be a charge to it because you're paying for those continued ed credits. Additionally, RVAR, they're going to have affiliates night every year. Every year in the fall, we have affiliates night. It always has a theme. It is a gigantic party, because the affiliates, the lenders, the closing offices, the insurance agents, the home inspectors, the radon mitigators, the, who else, Jennifer? Who else is there?
Everybody is there.
Everyone who wants to sell us something is there.
Yes.
Home warranty companies, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It is a humongous party. It's been held at the Hidden Valley Country Club the last few years. The affiliates put on the party. So you actually do pay a fee to go, but you have an opportunity to win tons and tons of prizes. They have all sorts of games set up and drawings and raffles and all sorts of stuff. You get 2 drink tickets when you go in. There is tons and tons of food, and it really just is a great evening. The themes in the past, last year was road trip. So everybody was doing road trip themed booths. You know, they were giving away Yeti coolers and all sorts of stuff, iPads, whatever. And it's an opportunity for you to meet lots and lots of contacts. You just you take a huge stack of business cards so you can enter as many booths as you want to. And you have an opportunity to meet home inspectors, radon mitigators, closing companies, home warranty programs. It really is a great night, and it's in the fall. I don't know if they have figured out how they're going to handle that this year. It may
I don't see it on here. So
I don't care. It may just end up being postponed until next year. But
oh wait, I said that, and then right there it is.
October 13th. So it's currently still on schedule. So here's hoping. So I really would encourage you to go. There were probably about 10 Wainwright agents there last year, and we had a blast. We had a great time. I won't say we closed it down, but we were maybe some of the very last people to leave.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. And they had a lot of photo booth opportunities. It was just a really fun night. So the other thing I would recommend is after you have gotten your feet wet doing real estate, you've been in it a year or so, it might be time to consider joining a committee at RVAR. There are lots of committees. We have hundreds of agents a year apply to be on committees. Most of them get their first choice. So you choose 2 or 3 committees that you would like to serve on. And I don't know if they have a tab. Do they have a tab for the committees?
I'm not seeing one.
Okay. somewhere on there. But the committees really give you an opportunity to meet with other agents. And I know you've heard me say this before, but I'm going to tell you again, it even helps your business. Because if you're serving on committees with other agents and then you have an opportunity to work with them on a transaction, or in my case, I had a competing offer with someone, you know, our offer got chosen. They knew I was easy to work with. They'd worked on a committee with me before. They knew me. They knew I would do a good job. They knew I was intelligent. They knew I knew how to communicate. So it really does help your business as well. So if you would like to join a committee, let me know. And I certainly can recommend you for a committee. I'd be delighted to. Here you go. Look at all those committees. Now, currently they're all closed because there is a period of time where you apply and are appointed to a committee. We've already done that for this upcoming year. So it's the spring. So if you would like to be involved in a committee, then just give me notice sometime prior to the end of the year, and I can certainly recommend you for one. So this is the affiliates committee. And those are mostly all going to be affiliates rather than realtors, but there are some realtors on there. And
Let's look at grievance.
Oh man, people love to get on grievance because then they know all the dirty business. Actually, I'm joking about that. These folks take ethics and our community professional standards very seriously. And grievance sees a lot of commission arguments, you know, where two agents are fighting over procuring cause, or they're fighting over commission, or some sort of ethics violation that one thinks the other has committed. So am I on that list? What is this? What is this committee?
This is board of directors.
Oh, is this MLS Board of Directors? That's MLS Board of Directors. So RVAR and MLS are made up of two separate board of directors. There's an RVAR Board of Directors and there's an MLS Board of Directors. Because I'm a crazy woman, I'm on both. So I serve on both of those boards. There's technology, standard forms, MLS monitoring. MLS monitoring is a great one. You literally just check out all the hot sheet every morning and make sure no one has a violation. You know, yard signs can't be in the photos because everything on MLS needs to be unbranded. So your yard sign in the front of your primary photo on your MLS is called agent promotion. So, you know, they just hit that little arrow button and send you a little note to say, hey, noticed your yard signs in your primary photo or is in photo number 3. Would you mind pulling that one down and replacing it with one that doesn't have a yard sign? So that's MLS Monitoring Committee. Okay.
Where to?
So other opportunities you have at RVAR is go sit in on a board of directors meeting. They truly are interesting. They're open to the general membership. We never, ever have guests. Nobody ever comes in and sits and watches. I don't know if y'all think what we're doing is boring or that they're closed meetings. They certainly are not. We would love to have folks come in and just you sit quietly and watch what we do. And we typically are going through, you know, feedback from all the committees to make sure they have what they need and that they're moving along and they don't need any help from us. We talk about upcoming business. So, you know, we have a lockbox exchange that was supposed to be taking place at the end of the summer. We're now diligently discussing what we're going to do about that, you know? They are very interesting and you're welcome anytime to come sit in a board of directors meeting. Obviously right now we're having them remotely, so that is much more difficult to do. And they're also, if you could go to events on RVAR, Jennifer, you have the events list there. I'll tell you, Joe Sutliff at the Roanoke Valley Association of Realtors is our governmental affairs director. And what he does is he spearheads a meeting once a month that is our economic update meeting. So he will bring in business leaders from around the community to speak with us. So the last one I went to in person was the Virginia Conservation Society, who make sure that land is set aside for conservation efforts. And they came in and chatted about farms, old family homesteads, why people may want to make that gift. They're still allowed to use their property, but it will stay in a conservation mode. And it does allow some tax benefits, and it allows future generations to enjoy that land that will not be developed. It was a really interesting topic. A couple of years ago, I went and attended one that was the person who runs the Roanoke Airport, right when they were changing the name to the Blacksburg Regional Airport or whatever they named it to. It was super interesting to hear him speak about the traffic that comes in, who they serve, what resources they provide to the community. It was super interesting. So they have, you know, it could be anybody who is in the community and who they think would be interesting for us to come in and talk about what sort of economic development is taking place in our community. So that's one that I think is super interesting. I don't see one on the list. That is probably because we just, hi Erin, yes, we will, now that I am actually recording, I will package it up and put it on YouTube and share it with you guys, sure. Have a great day, Erin. So that is a meeting I would highly recommend you go to. They take place at 8:30 in the morning and they're over by like, you know, 9:30 or 10. So you can squeeze it in early in the morning.
Do you want me to stop sharing so you can quickly show Amanda?
Yes, that would be great. And then we did not get to virtual open houses, so I'll just do a separate section on that and I'll package it up on YouTube and send it to you guys. It's also, I put it on the list because I have one I need to push out on Facebook today and I don't wanna. So this is my, this is me painting myself in a corner, so I have to put that on today. Thanks, Anastasia. So if anybody would like to watch me do that on our VAR, I'm happy to. So we're gonna share my screen now. Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing your screen.
You're welcome. Again, I'm not a very good driver.
So I'm gonna head over here to Flex MLS and you guys can see my screen now. So here I am on MLS. And I'm gonna use MLS to toggle over to my zip forms. So I'm gonna go to zip forms because I say, hot tamale, I got a new buyer. I'm ready to write up that offer for them. Let's go do that. And Amanda, I will also tell you that I do have a sample purchase agreement package and a sample listing agreement package. That will also show you everything you would need to have when you're writing up an offer for a buyer. So when I go to my zip forms, well, there's my sample purchase package. I have no idea why that's first and foremost on my, it's like it heard me, which I'm fine with. Listen to me all day long and make my life easier. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna start a new transaction here. I'm gonna say it's a new purchase offer. I'm going to call it, you know, Betty buyer, okay? So she's my buyer. It's gonna be
Ashley, I'm gonna jump off for just one moment. I'm sorry.
Of course. Residential, and I have to move a couple of things here to get down here. So active, and then here's where we're gonna go to my templates, okay? So I'm gonna go to my templates, and I'm going to go to residential purchase. I'm going to click residential purchase and save. And when I go into this transaction envelope now, and I toggle over to documents right here, you'll see that it has preloaded for me every form I may need when representing a buyer. Now, I'm not one who's going to do it the proper way. The proper way is you go in here on the cover sheet and you fill out as much information as you can in this cover sheet, and then it's gonna auto-populate for you. I'm always in a hurry, so I'm gonna go straight to the purchase agreement and start filling it out, and it's gonna cross-populate the bubbles all the way across all the other forms. So once I put in the buyer's name here, it's gonna put that buyer's name in on every other form. Now, a couple of things I'll caution you on. I have included the residential property disclosure and the lead-based paint disclosure form and the residential septic system disclosure form, you should not be using those with your buyer. Instead, you should be going to the MLS and retrieving a signed copy of those from the listing agent and importing those into this transaction folder. These 3 blank forms are sitting here as a reminder to you to make sure that you go and get those. So if I go back to the MLS and I go to a listing, let's just go to the hot sheet, and I go to a listing that I'm going to make an offer on, let's just hope it has the disclosures already up. I'm going to go to that listing and I'm going to go to the tab marked Documents. And there is my residential property disclosure. I'm going to download that and then I'm going to upload it into my transaction folder here. And it's going to take the place of this one. So I will delete the blank one and replace it with that one that is already signed by the seller. And then I'm definitely not going to print out this protect your family from lead in your home, but I need to provide it to my buyer before they sign this lead-based paint disclosure. Because one of the items on the lead-based paint disclosure says that the buyer is acknowledging that they have received the pamphlet, Protect Your Family from Lead in Your Home, okay? This is the pamphlet. So I'm going to go here and click send, and I'm going to send it to their email. And that way they can acknowledge that they have received it. Do not print it. It's like 27 pages long. You can, if they don't have email, print it. Let's see if we've got a question.
Yes, Amanda. She was asking about for homes prior to 1978, that's what that was for.
Yes, that is for homes prior to 1978. You can see this listing I chose here. If I go back to the report on it, it was built in 1986. So there is no lead-based paint form uploaded there because it is not required.
Right.
Because it's homes built prior to 1978. So Amanda, I hope that answers your question. Here are the forms. They're set up and ready for you to use. I would encourage you always to do the exclusive right to represent buyer sooner than the contract. You should be doing those very early on in your relationship with your buyer, but at the latest prior to writing the purchase agreement with them. And if those are happening on the same day, I would highly recommend you go ahead and knock out that exclusive right to represent buyer form. And if you can, put a timestamp on it so that later you can prove that that was executed prior to the purchase agreement being executed. All right, any other questions at all? I'm going to stop sharing my screen now.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anybody have any last questions before we break for the day? Okay, you guys are awesome. Thank you for the good meeting. I hope it was interesting. We'll have more of these. I plan to have another one next week. You can see that it's just, I could talk for 6 hours and just teach y'all all sorts of stuff. So I don't want to overwhelm you, but
We can listen.
if you have any topics that you'd specifically like to hear about, please throw them in this chat window, send me an email, because sometimes it's hard for me, 19 years into this, to know what you guys want me to talk about, what you want me to explain to you. So please share with me what you'd like to hear about. Anybody have any last questions? Okay then, have a great day, everybody. Happy
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Bye.